Hello, my fellow broke aristocrats. How are you? I hope you're enjoying your no spend January as much as I have. Okay, today, as I promised for the January no spend, I would be doing more cooking. So that is what we're doing here. I am doing a vegan dish. I'm going to be doing a potato lentil curry dish, which I'll show you how I made that. And in addition to a potato lentil curry, I will be doing something called Pulao. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. It's a northern, I believe, possibly Himalayan dish. And I'm going to go show you, I'll go ahead and get started and we'll just see how this goes. All right, stay tuned. Okay, this is the red lentils. You folks have seen me cook these up before. I'm just going to add a little bit more heat to them, and to these I'm going to add some potato. Now I have a large potato that I chopped up, so we'll go ahead and I will put I'm going to go ahead and put half of that large potato in here. I've put about 1.5 cups of lentils in there, and to that I've added chopped half of one large onion and half of one large russet potato. And I've also sprinkled some asafoetida gum powder, which I like the flavor, but many people do not. So for that reason, it's up to you if you want to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and cook these up, and then when the time comes and everything is softened, I will add the curry. And this is vegan, so I won't be using ghee. In this pot here, I'll be doing my rice dish, my pulao. And to the pulao, you really want, I'm using an olive oil which has a low burn temperature, so you really want to be careful. You could do this with ghee, you can do it with coconut oil, which you can tolerate, it can tolerate a higher heat coconut oil than this, but for whatever reason, I just decided that I was going to do that. So the first thing you're going to do in making a pulao is you want to add about 1 tablespoon of the mustard seeds, and you're going to let those toast. They'll start to pop relatively quickly at a low heat, and when they start to pop, you can go ahead and add your other spices. I'm going to add as I mentioned, I will add 1 tablespoon of the mustard seeds, and then to that I'm going to add 4 teaspoons. I'll say 3 teaspoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of cumin seed, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've added my spices, and as you can see, they're starting to slowly heat up. I'm still learning the art of cooking, holding a phone, and talking at the same time, so bear with me. Now, I think this is looking pretty good. If you wanted to make it spicy, you could add a pepper. I don't think I want to do that right now. I just want to make it mild. And we're going to add a little bit of onion. This is the other half of that large onion that I chopped. I'm going to go ahead and use the other half. And I took 2 carrots. They're right here. One is white, one is orange. I got those at Trader Joe's, but to be honest with you, if you just have orange carrots, that's fine. And the other half of the potato is also going to go in there. As I said, that I had a large russet potato. And all that's going to go in there. I'm going to go ahead and increase the heat a little bit. And we should get a nice curry from this. Going and just letting those cook down. at a medium heat. We'll do that for about 10 minutes. Okay, coming over to my lentils here, as you can see, I added 1 hot pepper, dry pepper, and I added some of that cinnamon bark. I love the flavor of that. So that is doing its thing very, very nicely. And when it is done, you know, usually takes about 20-30 minutes for this to be done. I will go ahead and I will saute up some spices and add that to it. You can add some salt and pepper if you like as well. And that pretty much will be my lentil curry. As you can see, I just want to cook it down a little bit longer. And then I'll show you what it looks like towards the end when I begin to add those spices. Thanks for watching. It's looking good. Playing with spices is something that you learn to do when you cook a curry. This curry that I'm sauteing very lightly, it's very, very lightly. I'm sauteing it because of the olive oil. This has some, it has a couple of different things. It has curry powder, it has some cumin seeds, a little bit of paprika. I put in a little bit extra coriander, and that's it. So my base was cumin powder. I did about 1 tablespoon of that, 1 teaspoon of the cumin seeds, and 1 teaspoon of paprika, and a couple teaspoons of coriander to that base. So this is now sauteing up nicely, as you can see. Just letting that, the aroma is very nice. Now you can cook asafoetida, and they say to do that, but to be honest with you, I have found that asafoetida tastes better when it just goes directly into the pot of beans. All these things can be bought at any of your Indian supply stores. So this is basically how it looks after you've added the water. You know, I actually made more than a cup of rice. I'd say a cup and 1/4, and to that I added about a cup and 3/4 water, 2 cups of water. I'll work it out when I write the directions below this video. But basically, it's for every cup of rice, you're going to add about 1 3/4 cup of water, or 1 1/2 cups of water, because there's water in the vegetables. So this dish usually is about 1 cup of rice, 1 3/4 cups of water. And as you can see, it's boiling lightly. I'm going to keep a lid on it. Because I used brown rice, this will take about 45 minutes to cook. When you hit the 30-35 minute mark, you can go ahead and first you would bring it up to a boil, then you turn it down low and let it cook on a simmer for about 35 minutes, and then just turn it off and let it steam for another 10. Towards the end, after it's steaming, you know, when you're ready to turn it off, you can go ahead and then you would add your frozen peas. I'm going to be adding to the top of this some frozen peas. And this is pretty much done. This is what the curry and potato looks like. It smells very nice, and that will be eaten with the rice. And I'm also going to be making some raita, and raita is basically a yogurt and a yogurt dish. Okay, so it's done. This is what the dal looked like. This is the lentil dal I made with the onions and the potato. I made a little bit of raita, which is goat's yogurt, and I grated half of a cucumber in there, and I sprinkled a little paprika on top. That'll be a garnish to go with that beautiful dal that I made. And this is what the pulao looks like. You can see it's just simmering. I can go ahead and turn this off now because we're going to let that sit for 10 minutes towards the end. Mix the peas in, and that will be the pulao. And that's about it. That's how we make it. All right, my fellow broke aristocrats, I hope you enjoyed watching me make traditional beans and rice. This is a dish that comes from northern India, but also parts of Pakistan and the Himalayan mountains. Also, they eat these types of dishes that are one-pot wonders like pulao. I wanted to make pulao because it really is a one-pot wonder. Everything is in one pot. I've done this before where I've cooked an entire meal in one pot. And the reason why I do that is because not everybody has more than one pot. If you look at people throughout the world, sometimes they only had one pot in order to cook everything. The entire meal, they had to do it in one pot. An American version of that would be something like jambalaya or some of those great Creole dishes from the South. Those also come from the tradition of cooking something for a long time, or the slow cook method. And it also comes from the tradition of putting everything in one pot. The English tradition was called pottage. And pottage usually started with a base of something like oats, steel oats that would cook all day, and then people would throw various different things in the pottage like apple core or whatnot. So different traditions throughout the world have these ideas about making one dish from one pot. And it certainly is a frugal way to live, and it's also an easy cleanup, by the way. All right, that about wraps it up. Be sure and share, like, subscribe, and tell me what you are doing to take care of yourself without breaking the bank. I'm fairly certain, and that was 100% organic, by the way, that I got that dish 100% organic for about $1 per serving, give or take. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Please take care of yourselves. I do care, and reach out to me if you'd like me to make any other dishes or do anything else that's healthy and frugal. I'd love to try. Thanks. Bye-bye.